When it comes to Germany, we are expecting Chancellor Angela Merkel to begin her new term there. How big of a challenge will not only, you mentioned Russia be, but also just President Trump's renewed focus on Germany and unfair trade?
Well, you know, it's interesting. The Chancellor was quoted on this, I think, just yesterday. And, she, as is her wont, she's trying to calm the waters somewhat, and just say, look, first of all, let's wait and see exactly what these policies are when they're rolled out. Clearly, tit for tat, response is not necessarily in the best interest of Europe or the United States, and that fundamentally what makes the most sense is for Europe and the United States to perhaps re-engage on discussions about a free trade agreement, which of course is something that I was deeply involved in working with her and her team for the last 4 years as we were trying to get the TTIP negotiated. My understanding is that in her very first meeting with President Trump in the White House, the idea of perhaps resurrecting an EU-U.S. trade discussions was discussed, and it was made clear that, in fact, that's not a multilateral trade agreement. It is a bilateral trade agreement between the U.S. and the EU, not between the U.S. and 27 or 28 member states of the EU. So, so that may be a positive direction we could move in.
What's the European response to President Trump increasingly linking those trade deals with the NATO budget?
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work too well. But, the problem, when I was ambassador, we spent a lot of time talking with the Chancellor and with Defense Minister von der Leyen and with Wolfgang Schäuble, the Finance Minister, about the need to improve the funding for defense and to really honor the commitment that was made at the NATO-Wales summit in 2014 to get to that 2% level. And my sense, my instinct is that doing those kinds of negotiations quietly sometimes is a little more effective than doing it publicly. When you do it publicly, it makes it that much harder for a foreign leader to go along with it, because it looks like they're being bullied or pushed around. But obviously, this is nothing new, and it's going to continue. I think the more interesting question is when the Chancellor went to Washington, she brought with her the heads of a number of German companies that have invested billions of dollars in the United States and are responsible for creating tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of jobs in the United States. And I think what you're more likely to see is a linkage of German investment in the United States with this whole question of tariffs.